Now you see it? It's that house there, it might be in his back garden, fuck knows. I think so, just for that. Why, where is it? So this is a little glamping pod for the night, just at the top of Johnny Groats, just by the hotel. So yeah, all it basically is just a little wooden shack with electric and some plugs and a heater. So it's kind of like camping, but you don't get anything on the beds and stuff. You've still got to bring your own sleeping bag and pillow and stuff. But yeah, it's just nice after a long day to have at least somewhere warm. Today we're heading down to Johnny Groats, just down the road down there, to go to the top of country, and then we head off down the east coast today. But I'm not too familiar with the route, so we'll just have to wait for that one to come on. But for now, let's go to Johnny Groats, the reason why we came up here. Well, boys and girls, that's where we were staying last night, and there's Johnny Groats, the end of the inland. Go around there and get a photo. We made it. We did indeed. Islands. Orkney, I think, over that way. Over there by Orkney, something like that. That's where you get to see the Northern Lights. Mid-morning scran. Cue the middle finger. There we go. So yeah, reason it really record much at Johnny Groats is the fact that I ran out of memory on my 128 card. I ran it out, so that's a shame on that. But where are we now? Wick.
No, you can't put that in.
I can't, I'll just cry it out. Where are we? Wick. And we found a massive Tesco, which I managed to get a new card from. I wasn't really planning on getting another card, but here I am. Bit of breakfast, and I think it's 4 hour till Inverness. I think we're crossing the bridge today anyway, so yeah, but anyway, onwards and upwards. So then today's route is all the way down the east coast. Well, we've seen some pretty sick sights. We're pretty much on the A9 all day, across the Inverness Bridge. I know it's got a name, it's not too sure. So through the centre of Inverness, first stop is, I don't know what it's called. And then yeah, we're just staying at another B&B tonight and then home tomorrow. But when we just got this road now all the way down the east coast, should be a beautiful coast road, a lot like yesterday. So yeah, we'll see some beautiful sights, boys and girls. So, boys and girls, that unfortunately is all of the footage that I have from the trip. I'm so lucky that I managed to get in the John O'Groats trip, I really am, because that was the first time that I've been to John O'Groats. The top of the, the mainland UK, it's the first time I've been there, and that was my genuine reaction, so I'm super glad I got that on camera. As you'll have seen from the entire trip, little bits and stuff, you'll have been hearing me talk about, how the GoPro wasn't working, how the microphone wasn't working. It's sod's law, it really is. I've never had any issues with the GoPro Hero 7 or the mic adapter, even in the rain or anything. Even with the little silicone that I put around it. I filmed in the rain before on the videos of me on the Peak District, but I just don't know what happened with this one. I know exactly when it happened. It was when we'd been camping, and the morning when we'd packed up, I put my helmet on the floor, and I just think some water managed to get into the connectors of the GoPro mic adapter. And for the rest of the trip, I was fuming, because the next night when we stopped at Old Bayer and I checked the footage, and I was like, where's my microphone audio? Texted the family and I was like, look, I don't know what I'm going to do with the footage here. But luckily I managed to make some good videos out of it. I hope you guys have enjoyed them. But yeah, to make this video a little bit longer, and I know it's probably not what you're expecting, especially if this is a video you've clicked on. If you're new to the channel and this is your first one you've clicked on, go watch the other two, and then this one probably will make a bit of sense. So yeah, this one I'm pretty much just going to go through, what I'd have done differently on the trip, or for when we do it next year. But yeah, definitely what I'd have done differently. Besides everything that went fantastic, don't get me wrong, the weather was perfect, the scenery, it just is what it is, it was beautiful. There obviously is some things that I wish I'd have done a lot better, and some things that if I was to do it next year, I'd probably do it like this. So a little bit of background. We was meant to do this trip back in May, and I'd booked it previously in 2019 October time. We were looking at a long stint ahead from when we booked it, so we booked all the hotels, because with the NC500 a lot of people do it. It's a very popular route, not just for motorcyclists. So yeah, we had to book all the hotels, and originally there was about 6 of us doing it as well. So we're real lucky to get all the accommodation and the route booked and stuff. Obviously COVID happened, COVID-19, which unfortunately we're still in. And that completely got shut down. We were put into lockdown, and it continued all the way through. Scotland's its own country, so when ours relaxed, theirs was still not taking any visitors, and accommodation wasn't open, so we completely sacked that off. And then it got to like August time, and I'd booked a couple weeks off work, and I was looking into riding with Simon. I was like, we need to get something done before the season's over. I looked at the route I'd planned, and I was thinking, we'd done the Lake District camping, and I thought, what if we do the NC500 camping? We do 1 night camping, 1 night hotel. Everything was a little last minute booked. As for accommodation, I'd have probably would have rather have done hotel if I'd have looked at the weather. Now the camping was fine, there was not a problem with it, but I'd have probably tried to carry a lot less luggage, if that makes sense. So I'd have probably bought some panniers and stuff if this were next time, to fit stuff in. A waterproof cover for my sleeping bag, because my sleeping bag got a bit damp halfway through the journey. Stuff like a smaller tent. Instead of having a 2-man tent, I'd have probably just had a 1-man pop-up tent. Stuff like that, because it's such a ball like putting the tent away and it's raining and all that sort of stuff. As for accommodation, I'd probably either do it with a 1-man tent, or I'd probably just go full on hotel and B&B. So the next one is probably something that might surprise you. So when I got back from the NC500, I'd met a guy on my Instagram. I'll leave his Instagram linked below. I don't know if he wants his name telling, but I'll leave all his Instagram and stuff below. So we met up at Squires over in Leeds, and we just had a little chat about my experience, because he's a really big tourer. He's done Europe, NC500 nearly every year. So it was nice to hear from someone that had a lot of experience doing it, and it was nice for him to talk to someone that had just done it for the first time. We just had a little chat over a coffee and stuff, and basically the first thing he said to me was like, you guys pushed yourself so far. To say this was like a holiday, you push yourself for like 300-mile days and stuff. And at the time, you got on a day trip on your bike, and you like 200, 250 mile and stuff, and you can do it no problem, soaking the bike. But when you're doing it like day in, day out for 5 days straight, 250 mile or 300 mile days is long. It takes its toll on you. You're on the comfiest bike in the world, but you're always chasing for the destination. And that was something I even said in the route planning video that I didn't want to do. I was like, you know, I want to stop. I want to take photos. I want to get the drone up. And I did manage to do that. I still feel like I was rushed for time, even by myself. So like we had like one day, for example, was like 250 odd miles, and I wanted to stop everywhere, but because it was September and the light was low, for some reason I only took my dark visor with me because I had nowhere to store my clear visor, and I just feel like I was really pushed for time. So yeah, I'd probably give myself either shorter days and a longer time there. So I'd probably say 7 or 8 days doing about 200 mile, not even that, just on the bike, giving yourself a chance to stop, you know, talk to locals. For example, in a petrol station, like you go in, you get chatting, you're like, right, I've got to go, you know, I've got a lot to do today, or you want to get your drone up and stuff, and just spend a lot of time in one place. Because now I've finished it and you look back, it really is a beautiful place, and these videos are stuff that I'll cherish for a while. So yeah, I'd definitely next time either extend the trip or bring down the mileage. So one of the biggest things that I'd probably do differently if I was to do this again, even if I kept all the other stuff the same, I've probably changed the route. So as you guys know, the usual NC500 starts from Inverness, goes all the way around from west to north, east, and back down through Inverness. I didn't fancy starting from Inverness because it's just quite a detour, if that makes sense. So if you want to go back and watch the video again where I talk about the route and stuff, basically how we did it. We come up the west coast of the UK, just past the Lake District, through Glasgow into Loch Lomond, and then we went west to north to east, and then back down through Inverness, through Edinburgh and all that. Through the Dales, or basically I think I went down the M6, to be honest with you, all the way back to West Yorkshire, where I'm from. And the one thing that I'd have done differently is I'd have gone the other way. So you hear a lot about this. I think we was having a meal one night in a restaurant, and we could hear a guy talking about how he does this all the time in his van, and he says, you know, a lot of people do it the way we did it, but he was like, the reason you do it the other way is because you get all the scenery is on the west side. The west and the north coast is basically where all the good stuff is. The east coast, I think that road was just called the A6, I think. And that was basically the last day, what you've basically missed. So you'll see footage of it now. But that last day just consisted of us going from John O'Groats down the A6. The northeast was lovely. It was nice and rocking. Like I say in the videos, you could see out to sea. You could see all the oil tankers and all the oil rigs because it was a lovely clear day. But then, you know, you get past all the lovely roads, and you get back onto like civilization, if you will, and it's just average speed check for like 160 miles all the way down from the north through Inverness. It wasn't uncomfortable, it was just boring because you just had to keep a constant eye on your speed because of the cameras all the time. The scenery was nice, don't get me wrong, this is why I'm saying doing it the other way, but compared to the other side of the country on the west side, it just didn't compare at all. If you went up that way, you know, you'd ease yourself into it, you'd reach John O'Groats maybe on the 2nd or 3rd day, and then the way you'd come back down is you'd end on a high. You'd come all the way down through the mountains, Applecross Pass the other way. I'd just definitely do it the other way. That's just one thing I would do differently. Or to be honest with you, I'd probably cut out the east coast and go through the centre, because all the roads through the centre of Scotland, again, it's all shifted towards the east side with the mountains and all the passes and stuff. I'd either go through the centre or go through the west side and kind of stick to that side of Scotland, because to me the east side, it probably does have some lovely sights, but for a motorbike ride, it's just too long and drawn out for me, guys. There's not even anywhere to really throw the drone up. So yeah, guys, not really the way I wanted to end the NC500 trip, sat in my bedroom talking about it. I'd rather ended it on the bike like I did. From where we stayed that night, where you've just seen at John O'Groats, we're headed down the east side of the country into Inverness, and then we did stay another night in a hotel because it was too far from John O'Groats all the way down back home, so it was another 2 days. But I'd lost a lot of memory on my GoPro. My GoPro had cut out on me, and a lot of times you'll see on the footage I'd actually switched my GoPro to the wide angle, not the super wide, just for the vlogging parts I did, but because I was so held up with time and rushing around, I never switched it back to super view. But boys and girls, I hope you did enjoy it. The rest of the pictures I will obviously leave at the end of this video. But yeah, if you did enjoy it or you are brand new, go right back to the start, go from the route video, I'll put it in a playlist, the route planning video to episode 1 to 2, and then finally finishing on this one. But if you got this far, I know a lot of you guys really did enjoy this one, so I really do thank you for watching it and sticking by it. Hopefully when COVID and life turns back to normal, we can get out there next year and do some nice tours. One more time, a big thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like on the video, share this playlist or video or whatever out there. You guys that are planning on doing the NC500, show your mates, show the guys who you're going with, show them what you're missing. I hope I captured it as it was. So boys and girls, like I always say, ride safe, stay safe, and yeah, this has been GoPro Motovlogging, and I'm out. Peace.